Hello, just a short video about, well, I'm in my Tesla now. I actually parked outside my house because it's chucking them in rain, and it's nice and bright in here, so like you can see me, which is tough. Anyway, I've just had a recent update. I mean, in Teslas, you get updates every couple of weeks or so, minor modifications. And this last one, release notes say, I'll put it on the screen, the release notes say minor fixes. So I don't actually know what the fixes are. But one thing's for sure, the car drives better. And it drove really well anyway. I feel it's faster, but the biggest change seems to me is that overnight when it's cold, the battery loses a little bit of power, which is normal. Every electric car will lose a little bit of power every day when it's parked. But I used to lose quite a bit, like quite a few miles every day when parked, especially when it's really, really cold. I thought that's a normal thing. I wasn't too bothered really. Didn't really make a lot of difference to me. But now, after this minor fix, I actually, I'm losing only every 24 hours just 1 mile of range when parked every 24 hours, which is nothing. So I'm pretty happy. I mean, I was happy anyway, but now I'm happy things have improved. I'm sure the car actually drives better and it feels quicker. I don't know what these minor fixes were, but I like it. And the car is, I've had it now for what, 18 months, and it's a better car now than it was when I got it. Now, how many people have got a car which, without any servicing, without any maintenance, is a better car than it was when they got it? And this car is better now than it was. Yeah, it's like a salient. It thinks for itself. It's got its own brain. It is. I mean, you hear people say about build quality. I mean, there is little things. Don't bother me. The rear, and this is quite common. The rear lights, when it really is horrible weather, wet and rain, all that, they mist up inside a little bit. I mean, just a little bit, and then it goes away again. People are up in arms about it, saying, "Oh my God, that's terrible, terrible, terrible." I'm not going to get that car because the lights mist up. I mean, they'd probably fix it if I took it in. The lights mist up. When the car is technologically so superior to anything else on the road, and you say, yeah, but the lights missed up, and people actually talk in that fashion, that the car is amazing, fast, virtually free to drive, because I charge at 5p per kilowatt, so it cost me not much more than a penny a mile to drive it in fuel terms. And people say, yes, but those rear lights missed up. Oh dear, it's pathetic. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a bit of a Tesla fanboy, but why shouldn't you be when the car is so much better? It's in the class of its own. I mean, it's so far ahead of fossil cars, and ahead, not so much, of course, with other electric vehicles, because of course they're all great, but only Tesla seems to have a mind of its own. It improves itself with its over-the-air downloads, and it's got a charging network, which is, well, what can you say? What else can you desire? You've got a charging network and over-the-air updates. Well, that's really something, isn't it? It really is something. If you're going to look for a car in this price range, where else can you go? There's nowhere else to go. No wonder they're selling so blooming fast. So that's it. What can you say? I'm very disappointed. My big disappointment, I've only got for another 6 months, and I won't be able to afford another one on lease. Now that is a disappointment because there's nothing to replace it. So I'm virtually looking in for might as well be an old banger, but it will be electric, because once you've got electric, you can't go back. But it will be electric because it's got to be, because they drive so nice. But it's got to be a cheap electric second-hand car. And it might as well be a complete banger, because it's going to be so far short of a Tesla that it might just as well be any old thing. Probably be a bloody Leaf or something. I mean, I'm sure Leafs are fine. Obviously a lot better than fossil cars. So Leafs are fine. But compared with this, I've never even driven a Leaf. But I know compared with this, it will be... I mean, my wife's got a very nice electric Kia Soul, the old one, short range, about 120 miles range. Drives nice, better than any fossil car. Smooth, quiet. In fact, it's as quiet as this. It's easily as quiet as this Tesla. But it's the edge is completely off, because it's a little bit less in handling and performance, and just a general happiness feature, really. I mean, this thing really handles as well. I mean, all that weight on the floor, and it's a low car. It is something special. And the more you drive it, the more you love it. And the more you push it, the more it rewards you. And other electric cars, 70 down the motorway, eating up the power. Well, obviously this eats up the power, 70 miles an hour, but not as much. Not as much. I mean, this has got top speed, which I haven't gone for, but it's about 140 miles an hour, which of course is pointless, because who does 140 miles an hour? But it's got the capacity. And if it can do 140 miles an hour top speed, how easy is it at 70? That's the way I always look. I'm old, but always in the old days, you say, if a car can it's got that performance, how easy is it throughout its range, at its acceleration, top speed? How easy is that car driving? And I know this car would last me a lifetime if I could afford to buy it. Well, certainly last my lifetime, because it's unstressed. That's my big thing about people saying cars should have smaller batteries and they're short range, and you should be happy with that. Well, no, because the bigger the battery, the longer the range, the less the recycling of the battery. That means recharging it over and over again. The less stress that battery's under, the battery will last longer. The list of advantages for a bigger battery is long. The list for disadvantages, I suppose it's heavier. I can't think of anything else. Oh, it's more expensive, but that's a snag, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit heavier, but it doesn't really affect you too much. The weight's on the floor. And, I mean, in this car, traction's fantastic. I mean, it's chucking down rain now. If I went out and floored this in a straight line on a wet road, and it really shifts, it would really dig in. There'd be virtually no wheel spin. If you had this much torque in a front-wheel drive car, you'd just be sitting there. Well, the traction control will take over. But if you turn the traction control off, front-wheel drive car, electric, with this much power, you just be sitting there spinning the wheels. Yeah. So no, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing, and I'd be sad to see it go. I mean, I'm like everyone else saying, perhaps I'll win the lottery. Well, that's stretching it a bit. I mean, I've got more chance of an airplane falling on this car now and killing me. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the way it goes. So let's see what happens. I'll keep you up to date anyway. But you can't beat it. Yeah, sitting here nice and warm in my shirt sleeves, and outdoors it's 8 degrees. Very nice. No engine running, but the car's warm because it's electric. Yeah, everything's better because it's electric. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so anyway, getting back to the point. Yeah, what's on the news these days? Piers Morgan has left Good Morning Britain, so that's that. So now the government won't be held up to any question, because no one will question the government. Because he sort of was outstanding that if a minister came on and they had a chat, and the minister talks his load of tripe, as they do, and lies, Piers Morgan would question it and not leave it alone. Unlike on the BBC, minister comes on, talks a load of tripe, and the BBC fellow says, "Thank you very much," and that's the end. So now the government is not going to be held up to anything. There's nobody there. There's another one, I can't remember his name, Andrew Neil. Andrew Neil used to be on the BBC. And used for the BBC to have someone, a straight talking person, but he was on the BBC, and during now the Tories are in and the coronavirus is hanging around and the government has been absolutely useless, Andrew Neil used to question the government. So Andrew Neil programme gone. He's not on either. So Andrew Neil for the BBC, question the government, gone. Piers Morgan, question the government, gone. And that's the way the world is now. That's the way it is. You mustn't question the government. We are now being, we're under the thumb. And what the government says, like we'll give the nurses, who we love the nurses actually saved Boris's life. But we love the nurses, so we'll give them a wage cut. I mean, anyone watching this, all 12 of you will say, yeah, well, they didn't give them a wage cut, they gave them a 1% increase. But of course, if inflation's higher than 1%, then it's a wage cut, isn't it? So they're getting a wage cut, and they're spending 22 billion on a useless track and trace system, and they're paying themselves plenty of money, that's for sure. They're giving themselves a wage increase, or they're giving an independent body, yeah, of course it is, a body to give themselves a nice wage increase. And I remember, no, people don't remember these things, but when it first started, this virus, and there was Australia, and Australia or New Zealand, better get it right, but it's one or the other anyway. Their Prime Minister, the Lady Prime Minister, said, under these conditions, when people are struggling, the government will take a wage cut. And the government was really doing the right thing anyway. And there's our government messing everything up, 130,000 dead, complete mess. Had a wage increase. Well done, well done. Well done, government, giving yourself a wage increase, because you've done you're so great, you're so wonderful. Oh, and by the way, let's have a couple of million to do up Downing Street. Yeah, so we've just been a couple of million doing up Downing Street. Oh, and Boris's young lady, who's not married, well, not married to this one anyway, wants to do up her flat. So that's going to cost a couple of 100,000. And who's going to pay for it? Me. I'm going to pay to do her flat. I'm nice. I'm going to pay to do her flat up. That's, but nurses, no. No, they weren't not worth anything. Unless they wipe someone's arse, they're worth nothing, are they? If they save your life, they're worth nothing. But they want to decorate their flat, they're worth everything. That's what we've got now. So that's my moan for the day, and I haven't done for a while, so I'll see you later on. Thanks for listening, if you have done, and subscribe if you want to, or whatever. Anyway, thanks. See you soon. Bye-bye.